Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. Welcome to Confetti Conversations and another podcast. Actually, this is number 20.
Oh, I went to look up a stat about 20 podcasts. There's a thing. If you get, I might have to look it up in a minute. If you get to like 20 podcasts, you're in the top. I will fact check this.
Okay.
I will come back. We'll circle back.
Okay.
Circle back to this in a bit. It'll come to me.
Fact check. We are, 20 podcasts. Can't believe it.
That is crazy.
Yeah. We've done well.
Yeah.
We've done well. And we've actually, we said this ages ago, but we've actually enjoyed doing all the podcasts.
Yeah, we've done 20 podcasts and only one argument.
What?
But
Forgot about that for a minute.
That
wasn't really relevant to the podcast, was it, though?
It was just on a podcast day.
It just happened to be, we were talking about it was the podcast, and that's why we were arguing, because it was all heightened by the podcast. But anyway, I don't need to talk about us arguing. This dog is biting my hand.
It wasn't a fist fight, so it's okay.
I don't think we've ever had an actual fist fight. We've hit each other with things, but we've never had an actual...
Like shaving forks and bridles.
Yeah, people. We have a horse, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
People aren't going to understand that's what those things are for. Again, I am wrangling a spaniel puppy. Eventually, he will learn to sit quietly, but until then... Anyway, roll the intro.
Hello and welcome to Confetti Conversations,
the podcast where me and my sister talk all things weddings, wedding planning and married life. So, episode 20. Here we are again, another podcast.
Here we go again on my own.
I briefly just want to mention, 2 weeks ago we went to the Unfiltered Brides tour, and we had an amazing time.
So good.
An absolutely amazing time.
I think when I said to you and Charlotte, let's go, neither of you knew what you were signing up for.
No.
And I'd had an idea. I hadn't seen any of it last year.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to go just from listening to it on the podcast, on their podcast.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
And the event.
Oh, it was amazing. It was like, it was just incredible. And we actually managed to speak to Georgie and Beth and Brian and just sort of get a bit of advice and a bit of help. And they were just so, so lovely.
Really
like
lovely.
They couldn't have been nicer to us. They couldn't have been more helpful. You know, they told us everything they could.
Yeah.
They were really supportive. And just really genuinely lovely people, and had so much time for us, although there was a million people in the room.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it wasn't quite a million, but there was a lot of people in the room.
But it was so cool, wasn't it?
Amazing. So well done. So different. Not at all what I was expecting, but
No.
I absolutely loved it. So I just wanted to briefly mention that because we did have such a good time.
Absolutely.
And it was a bit inspirational, I think, for us.
In a few different ways. In the podcast way.
In
but
the
also
wedding.
in my wedding prep way.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Just to be in a room with a bunch of women. There were mainly women, but there were men as well.
Yeah.
Just having a nice time.
Talking about weddings.
Talking about how amazing the music was, the entertainment, everything.
Every part of it was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, really incredible.
Yeah, really, really, really well done. And we had a brilliant time. So just wanted to mention that because it was so amazing.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about sort of pressure of the aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
So in the sense of it having to be the best day of your life.
Yeah.
And you have to look the best you have ever looked.
I think there's that, but also the whole run-up to your wedding, whether you're getting married in a year, 2 years, whatever, it's that whole you're a bride and what that kind of means.
Oh,
or
okay.
The pressure, because that's where I'm at the moment.
Okay.
But also on the day.
Okay. We just wanted to talk about the pressure of being a bride.
Yeah.
And, all of that it entails.
Yeah.
In terms of planning a wedding, looking your best, feeling your best, enjoying the process, like everything that comes with being a bride.
Yeah, that's it.
Because that's exactly, you're in the trenches of it right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's simple things like, for example, you've just put your invites out, or
Yeah.
you're putting your invites out as we speak.
Yeah.
And that pressure of, will anyone want to come? Are my invites good enough? Are they clear enough? Have I spell checked them enough times?
Yeah.
Have I done this? Have I done that? Like, have I included everything? Like, that pressure.
Yeah.
And it's not something that people really talk about, I don't think.
No, and I think when it comes to written stuff, I will always put more pressure on myself than the actual organising.
Yeah.
Is fine.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
But written stuff, being so dyslexic, to write an invitation, put it out to people, and then I think we talked last week. Was it last week we did invites?
Yes.
Yeah. About how you address it, or how you present it.
Yeah.
So together with our families.
Yeah.
We mentioned it to Ellis's mom, and she was like, "Well, shouldn't it be from your mum and dad?" And I'm like, "Oh, you can't get it right."
Yeah, well, I think, like we spoke about last week with that one, is that for me, it depended on who was paying.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. She was like, "Oh no, well, I wouldn't have thought of it."
Yeah.
It's just funny, but you overthink every decision.
Everything.
So that, together with our families, took me probably a week to decide,
Yeah.
we talked about.
Yeah.
And that's just one thing.
Oh yeah, everything. You think about everything. You spell check everything. You check the lineup of everything. Everything has to be perfect. And then there is a certain point where you just kind of relinquish control and just go, it is going to be what it's going to be, and it'll be lovely regardless. And those tiny little finer details that I've been stressing about for the past 6 months are not going to matter.
Yeah.
Like, I was spray painting a load of lanterns, and to begin with, I was like, they have to be flawless. And after a while, I was like, those have got drips on them. This is like, nobody's going to notice. And in the grand scheme of things,
I didn't even know when we were putting them out, to be honest.
No, because they were hidden within other things. And you just allow these things to just happen eventually.
Yes.
But there is a certain point definitely where I think every bride is like, what the heck? And especially when you've got a lot to do.
Yeah. I think I go through waves.
Yeah.
And I go through, I've got this. It's all planned. It's all this. It's all the other. And then I'm like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming, and shut down.
Yeah.
And don't do anything for a week.
I think that's very normal. I think a lot of people are like that.
And I think you always say, just enjoy it. Like, enjoy the process. It's meant to be fun. I'm like, why aren't I having fun?
Yeah, and that's a whole other load of pressure, isn't it? Like, having to enjoy the process. Like, I don't know, organising my wedding was just the most zen I've ever felt, and I've just loved every second of it. But then organising something for someone else, no, can't. Stress, absolute panic. Is it going to be right? Are they going to like it? Is this right? Is that right? Like, little tiny things like that. I can't. I just can't do it.
No, I think as well, it's the whole social media thing, isn't it?
Oh, 100%.
And you get into that, and you're like, TikTok, I'm on bridal TikTok, or whatever you call it, wedding planning TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's just everything from how you get up in the morning and do your skincare to make sure you're the best looking bride you can be.
Yeah.
And then, have you done your hair that day? Have you booked all your hair appointments?
Yeah.
As much as it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Doesn't flipping matter.
Sometimes I had this, like last week I was in the trenches of hen party planning, and stressed out of my brain. This week I'm so zen. Everything's going so well, and I'm so pleased, and I'm very happy. Last week couldn't say the same thing, but that's where I felt the pressure of wanting it to be perfect for you, and I know it will be, because it'll be your hen party,
it'll be
and
fun.
You'll have the best time ever. That's regardless. But it was like, I was watching, I can't even remember what it was. I think I was watching some YouTube, and it was somebody getting ready for their hen party, and I couldn't watch it because and it's got nothing to do with like my hen party or anything like that. But the idea of the hen party being mentioned last week, I could have flipped out. I could have gone mad. And that was just because it was on my mind and worrying me. And then this week I'll watch all the hen party videos.
It's funny, isn't it? It's silly.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I'm enjoying watching all these other people preparing for their weddings. I think it's really lovely.
I do. I do. I think I felt the pressure that I wanted to document my wedding planning
I
journey.
think that's part of it.
And I really wanted to do it, and I had every intention of doing it. And I am a very flaky person, I've come to realize as I've got older. I I say I'm going to do something and I never do it. And that's one of my biggest irritations about myself,
Yeah.
is that I bang on about wanting to do this and wanting to do that and this and that and the other, and I never ever ever commit to it.
I wouldn't say ever, ever, ever anymore because of how you have changed your mindset in the last year.
Yeah.
That's not true anymore.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say the podcast. Like, I've, stuck
20 episodes.
Yeah, I've stuck at this. But when I was wedding planning, I really wanted to document the journey. And I think what I was making and doing would have been really helpful to a load of brides.
God, it would have been amazing.
And I really think that people would have really enjoyed watching that content. And in some ways, I really kicked myself for not doing it. But it was just a pressure that I couldn't get out of my head, and I couldn't make it work. And I think that is a shame, but it is what it is. And something had to give.
Yeah, that's how I feel. We're both working full time.
Yeah.
Doing it. And like today was a perfect example of it. I haven't got any wedding planning stuff that needs to be done, but I do know that people's invitations are arriving at home, some of them.
Yeah.
Like I've already had a text off one of my friends to say, my invitation's arrived, I love it, I'm so excited, which is lovely. But like, I've got to get home, I've got to go to the gym because I'm a bride this year. Like, I've got to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I want to lose weight. Doesn't mean I necessarily want to change how I look.
No.
It would have been nice. But I know I'll feel better.
Yeah.
If I know I'm looking after myself.
And I think
which is all what we talked about in January.
Yeah, exactly. And like, this is exactly what we talked about in January. But the exercise part helps so much to take away the stresses and the pressures.
That's exactly it.
That actually you going to the gym isn't about looking good, feeling good.
No.
It is about feeling good, but it's more about having that like clear brain time.
Yeah, I can't do any wedding planning. I can't do any work whilst I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
It is just for me.
Yeah.
There's a new gym opening near us, isn't there, in the next few weeks? And me and Ellis have both spoken about it. And we've said we're going to join there.
Yeah.
This is our time to work on ourselves, but look after ourselves because it's going to have like nicer things in our current gym.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep that one because I enjoy it. And
you have to keep that one because we're training together.
No, but
it's the first time in our lives we've ever trained together.
Yeah, found something we like doing together.
Yeah, and it really worked.
It was
We've only done one session, but we love it.
Might not be able to walk tomorrow.
No.
It was really nice to have that there.
Yeah.
That's my comfort zone. That's I can go and do what I want to do, even though they've refitted it and I don't know where anything is.
I know,
but
it
stresses me
so
out.
Good though.
It is so good. I'm gonna go after this. I wasn't going to, but I'm going after this.
Yeah.
But more because it's quiet.
Yeah.
Because it'll be later. I can go wander around and find everything.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
I've not done that yet. We're just talking about our gyms. But I think because it's like what mom and
safe place.
Yeah, our mom and dad are members of a spa gym, and for them, and it's got like a bar, it's like a hotel, so they can go with their friends, go to the gym, go for a swim,
do a class,
have a bit of a spa, have a beauty treatment if they wanted to, have a drink with their friends, and then and it just is like their time together, and I think there is a lot to be said for that. And I can be guilty of running into the gym and doing my workout as quickly as possible and running back out.
I think I want both.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do both.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going to, because our gym is cheap and cheerful.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I'm prioritising actually that.
Yeah.
Over something I might buy for the wedding.
Yeah.
For me and Ellis, that is more important that we have that.
And mentally, to be able to have that break from the wedding and actually to have that break together from the wedding.
That's exactly what we've said.
Because as much as the wedding is a lovely thing to talk about and a lovely thing to do, sometimes as a couple, your identity doesn't need to be people getting married this year.
Yeah, and that's where I'm feeling like, and on Sunday, I lent into it, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was making mood boards of hen-do outfits, casual outfits,
Yeah.
accessories,
Well,
luggage.
Yeah. I mean, I did an
I'll post them
entire.
on Instagram, by the way,
Yeah,
'cause they're really good.
They are really good. I did an entire wedding wardrobe. I
Yeah.
curated an entire wedding wardrobe. I had brand new luggage. Some of them I've not even used. I don't know why I bought them. Like, why did I buy a jewelry box that is too big really as a travel jewelry box, but too small as a home jewelry box? Like, I'm going to use it, I think, as like my precious jewelry
Yeah.
and get it out because it's just sat in there. I've got a wire organizer.
What's a wire organizer?
It's just like where you put your wires and your SD cards and stuff like that. Why do I need it? Tell me why I
Also,
need
why is
it.
that relevant to a wedding?
I don't know, but I bought it. The only things that the bag, the hold all I use all the time.
Was it all the stackers stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have wanted that cable organizer for a really long time, but I have too many cables to stick in it. Like, I'd use it for the camera kit, but I don't need it. Like, it's just, I don't know why I did it. Anyway, I did it. And but I did make my personality bride.
And I think you did it really well.
Yeah.
I want to do it, but I still look like the homeless person that's got straw in her hair from the horses.
But you don't know. You 90% of the time you are put together. You put yourself down. And I think sometimes you can be. For example, today I feel like you probably have a bit more of a negative mindset than you normally do.
I think if you could see like how my brain is, there'd be a big grey cloud above my head today.
And we've all been there.
Just there's nothing going on.
No.
I just you know when you look at it like glass half empty, glass half full.
Today's a half empty.
I'm definitely looking at a half empty.
Yeah, and I think mental health is imperative anyway, and that we talk about it, and that we support people, and that we, we're open and honest about how we're feeling and where we're at. Mm-hmm. That is an imperative thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But in the space where you're supposed to be the happiest you've ever been, I think it's even more important.
Yeah.
Because the pressure of just being happy,
it's a lot.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a privilege. Like, I mean, it is a privilege.
It is a privilege. 100%.
It is a privilege, but it's like you should be happy. You should feel this way.
You should enjoy every moment of planning. Yeah. You should enjoy how you feel in your body, how you feel in your brain, how your partner's feeling. Yeah. Like, Ellis has got a whopping great bruise on his arm from rugby. It's so bad.
That man cannot play a single game of rugby without being injured. Every time I thought he got away with it this week, and then he came to pick his dog up because I babysit their dog. Mm-hmm. Came to pick the dog up, and he was like, "Do you want to see something?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not sure I do."
Literally, like, covered his bicep.
His entire bicep, and all down his arm. The other side of his arm is just completely black.
All he did was make a tackle.
Got kneed, he said.
See, he made the tackle, and he's just where he wrapped.
Yeah.
But we're not playing sport for at least a month before the wedding.
Well, at least you're wearing. He's wearing. I'm not saying anything.
He could be wearing a dress.
He could be wearing a dress, but I'm not saying anything about your dress.
Would you be surprised if he wore a dress?
You know what I would love for him to do is do like a dance or something, in the evening in like a white leotard or a white short dress, or
I wouldn't put it past him.
And I kind of want him to do it now. Now I've thought about it.
I can't wait to see what he does for his stag do. Oh, I think that's the other thing as well. Because we're inviting people to the wedding.
Yes.
I think guests / bridal party people are feeling a little bit of pressure because you, Billy and Harry, his bloody name then, are all asking for money for stag and hen do's.
Yeah.
We're sending out invitations with information of hotels.
Yeah.
So I think for guests, then it becomes a lot.
Yeah, it's not cheap to go to a wedding, and it's something that you do kind of just have to accept, annoyingly. And I know, because a fair amount of my friends aren't married yet.
Yeah.
And I know they're all going to get married in a really, really short space of time. And that's going to be a really expensive time for me.
Well, I've got
a lovely time, but expensive.
3 this year and mine. And then
I've only got yours.
3 next year.
I've got yours this year, and I've got Sam's cousin next year.
Yeah,
so
I've
only
got 3
got
next
2.
year, 2 of which are needing flights to Barcelona.
Ooh! At least Barcelona's not miles away.
No. One is Elsa Groomsman, so we'll be there for a week. It'll be our holiday.
Yeah.
And the other one will make a long weekend of it.
Yeah, I know that one of my friends, she was a bridesmaid. She will definitely get married abroad. She will be listening, probably on the treadmill. Hi, Lara, we love you. But she said that she probably will get married abroad, and it's something that she would be really interested in. And for me, that would be, I'd make a week of it.
Yeah, of course you would.
And we'd make it like, our holiday. And
well, I've done it before and it works really well.
And I think it's really lovely, actually. I think that's a really nice thing. But going back to pressure, it is weddings are pressure in terms of money for your guests. And that's just a fact. It is a fact. No wedding is ever cheap for a guest.
No.
Because there's drinks, there's a new outfit, there's hen do's, there's stag do's, there's a hotel. If not a hotel, there's a taxi.
Yeah.
If not a taxi, petrol.
Wedding gifts.
Gifts.
Not that I expect any gifts, by the way.
No, absolutely not. And you never do, but people always want to.
Yes. And people are very generous.
Yeah. And I think it's lovely, but yeah, it's a lot of pressure for guests to pay money towards your wedding. It's also a lot of pressure to ask people to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
And I think, like, for example, me planning this hen do, asking people for money is a difficult thing to do.
It's a difficult conversation when you're in a shop.
Yeah.
I literally work in a shop.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is difficult, but at the end of the day, being invited to a wedding is a privilege. So I'm going to spend the money.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, it's a lovely thing to spend your money on. And I think you have enough time, really, to...
That's why I wanted to get the invites out early enough that people can budget. Like, if they want a hotel or need to book transport or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was part of my theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all a lot. I was talking to a friend who recently got engaged. And she said within the first month, everyone was like, oh, so when are you getting married? When's it going to be? Have you found a venue? All of this kind of stuff. And she was like, I've just stopped. I've decided it's going to be 2027 now. I'm going to give myself plenty of time. I've booked the venue.
Yeah.
I've booked a date. I don't need to do anything for a while.
No.
She's just started a business as well. So she was like, I'm not putting that pressure.
No, and you don't need it. You don't need it. And that is something, actually, I don't think I'd never felt like I got a lot of the when you're getting married, and I never got afterwards, we've not even really now, when you're having kids, like we've had none of that.
I think culture's changed a little bit around kids.
Yeah. But like when we got engaged, I guess, I mean, we weren't that young. We were like 20, but was I 25 when I got engaged? I got married when I was 27.
No, you just
I
turned
just
26.
turned 26.
Yeah.
So we were fairly young.
Did you see how I figured out the year then? I had to do this with my eyes, like roll them round. So that's 1 year. That's 2
yeah. No, yeah, I was just 26. But yeah, it's people weren't on our case about getting married necessarily.
Because everyone knew you had it planned from when you were 15.
Well, I think majority of my close friends and family knew that there was a date. Like they knew
you wanted,
they knew that in some respects poor Sam had to propose in enough time for us to have our date.
I think me and Sam actually had that conversation.
Yeah, the date was set in stone, and I said to him, it wasn't set in stone. I obviously would have been, if we couldn't have found a venue or for multiple different reasons, I would have moved it. But ideally I wanted that date. And I said to him, if you can make it work, please make it work. And I said to him, ideally, I'd like 18 months planning. So just bear that in mind. Because we knew, we'd been together long enough. We knew it was coming. We knew it was going to happen. Like, I wasn't surprised. Obviously, I was surprised. I didn't expect the circumstances. But I wasn't surprised in the sense, like, I knew it was going to happen soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think outside noise and outside pressure can make wedding planning not enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure. I am enjoying it. Can I just hold my hands up? I want to get married.
Yeah.
I am enjoying this.
It's not that you're not enjoying it. It's a conversation.
It's a confidence thing as well. It's not even the end goal of getting married. It's that I'm not feeling like a bride.
Yeah. But then equally, when do you ever feel like a bride? Even on my wedding day, I was wearing a white dress, but I didn't necessarily feel like oh my God, I'm a bride. I never had that
I
moment.
think that's the feeling I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I think maybe I will when it comes to like hen do's and stuff.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think I ever had that moment of like, oh my God, I'm a bride. I think I enjoyed the attention. Surprise, surprise.
This is the girl with the acting degree.
Yeah, I love attention. I think and clearly the sound of my own voice, because doing this podcast I do talk a lot. But anyway,
it's a podcast. That's the goal.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I ever necessarily felt like a bride, like, oh my God, I am a bride. I think I just loved the attention and I loved the process of it. And I just loved the fact that people were there for us and people were there to celebrate us and loved us. And yeah, I think, and had that only have been 10 people, I think I still would have loved it.
Yeah. I don't really know where to go with this now.
I think it's a bit of a higgledy-piggledy topic. I think we could talk for hours about this topic. I think there is so much that we can say.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is the last time we'll talk about it.
No, I think as part of the planning goes on, it will come round again and I'll feel different tomorrow.
And there'll be different sorts of pressures the closer you get.
Yeah.
I think at this point, it is the pressure of the invites are going out. So it's very real.
Yeah.
The wedding is like, you book all the stuff and you pay a lot of money, but in some respects, it still feels a bit like a fantasy.
Yeah.
And then when the invites go out and you start getting people replying, that's when it's like, whoa, okay, we're having a wedding.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that is the moment where you think, I actually have to pull this off now.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really, really pivotal moment in your wedding planning.
Yeah.
Where you are, okay, wow, yeah, we're having a wedding.
Yeah. Even whilst we've been recording, when we paused for a second, I had a text from our auntie. Thank you for the invitations. Thank you for the note, because I left a little note for her partner Frank, and it's like, oh gosh, I'm gonna get loads of these because
yeah. You'll get loads of people texting you and talking to you about the invites and all that kind of stuff, which is a really lovely time.
I think it's even just having that has made me feel better.
Yeah.
Because I've had two, like I said, my friend's already texted me that she got hers today.
Yeah.
Mom picked up hers.
Yeah.
And she's giving it to her friends, some of them tonight.
Yeah.
And the more I know people have got them and haven't spotted spelling mistakes, haven't spotted that I've done it wrong, put it on, when I first put them, I put the wrong flipping year. That Phil was like, do you mean 2024? I was like, oh, no, we're getting around 2025.
Yeah. I did, to be fair, I was first at RSVP and there was a small spelling mistake on the website, but I quickly was like, there's a spelling mistake, and it was fine because it was only me.
Oh, it was on Saturday, wasn't it? And
it wasn't even a spelling mistake.
I just put the wrong word in.
Yeah, just put a different word in.
Yeah, I was like, I can't even see it, and Phil had to just send it me because I couldn't.
No,
you get blind to it because you look at it for hours.
Oh yeah, and the words stop making sense.
Words don't make sense to me anyway. I'm just
there is that, but like they really don't make sense.
No, I agree.
So yeah, it is a funny one. But yeah, it's a lovely time, but there is pressures, and I think no matter who you are, you will feel some form of pressure during wedding planning.
Yeah, I was like today talking about the social media thing. Someone, I think it's great. I think I might do it. Have done 75 bride or something like that, rather than 75 hard, 75 soft. If
we
on
spoke
social media
briefly about that in the Wellness January. Yeah,
I found it.
Right,
she's doing it, and I was like, it does look quite nice, and I think it's just to make you feel one of those things to make you feel more bridal.
Yeah,
I think they're the things I need to do.
Yeah,
I need to have the white headbands. I need to have the in my bridal era jumper that I managed to get a stain on. But I need those things.
Yeah.
To make me feel bridal. I need to carry around my bridal planning book.
But equally, you don't need to feel bridal.
Yeah, maybe I just want to.
Well, if you want to, that's different.
Yeah.
If you want to, then do all those things, 100%. Do all those things. Make your whole wardrobe white. Not all of it, because you'll regret it when you finish. But, you know, wear a lot of white. Wear a lot of your wedding colours. If that's what you want, then do that. But it's not necessary. No. It's not necessary to make your entire personality bride and put that pressure on yourself. You really, really do not need to do it, because you're still getting married and you're still a bride.
Yeah, True. Very true.
So don't worry about it. If you don't feel bridal, you will.
Welcome to Philippa and Hayley's counselling session. I think this is what we can call tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you needed, but sometimes, like you said, you go blind to it.
Yeah.
And you go tunnel vision.
And I said to you the other day, like, I feel like I need to be doing something all the time
Yeah.
for the wedding.
Yeah.
But when we looked at my list and we did a checklist, I've literally got, like, the nice stuff to do.
Yeah.
Not that any of it's horrible.
No.
But, like, decorations, gifts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But if there's nothing to do, don't make things to do.
Yeah.
Because there will come a time when, say, for example, now there's nothing to do, so you decide to add something else into the list because you have time for it now.
Yeah.
Inevitably, there will be a part of that
It's not finished.
that's not finished that you'll need to do close to the wedding that will then hinder something else that you really want. So don't make jobs for the sake of making jobs. If you want to do things related to the wedding, do things related to the wedding. But do stuff that you really want.
Phil's hot take.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because I think, for me, I did a lot early on, but then there was a lot of stuff that I just tinkered away at. Like order of services, confetti, because I made my own confetti. If I wanted to feel like I was doing something,
You did those.
I'd do 10 minutes of confetti and I'd feel like I've accomplished something.
Yeah.
Or I had confetti bags and I'd fill 10 bags with it. Or I did the little tissues. There was little things I did that I knew I wanted from the get-go. Yeah. But I had to sometimes make it happen sort of slowly. Yeah. So that, and then in some respects, they were better because I did them slowly.
Yeah, true. I do things every so often that like make me motivated. Yeah. So I've got wedding school this week, so we can talk about that next week.
Yeah, yeah, because that's not something that everyone will do, but we'll talk. We'll go into that in more detail.
But that will motivate me again.
Yeah, we have the dog back. He's just come back for the very last 5 minutes. No, he likes to go and see. My husband's just left the house, and he likes to go and see whoever's left the house. He's itching to get out and about, this dog.
He also wants his tea.
Yeah, he's starving, poor thing. So we're going to wrap this up pretty quickly. But yeah, there are a lot of pressures that come with wedding planning, being a bride, and all of the above. But do not feel like you have to give in to them. Mm-hmm. There is so much to love about wedding planning, and there is some people, and depending on your personality, you might not just enjoy some stuff, and that is absolutely fine. You don't have to enjoy every moment of your wedding planning. You really don't.
Nope. Or puppying.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to enjoy every moment of owning a puppy, because it is not all rainbows and sunshine. As cute and as gorgeous as he is a bit of a nightmare. And now he's going to cry. He is absolutely starving, so I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah. But we'll come back to pressures. I'm sorry that this has been a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but it's just a moment that we're having at the minute, and it's a moment that we need to talk about and discuss.
Hayley's mental health.
Yeah, yeah. I think we've helped you, which is always good. Yes. So yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Thank you for Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening for 20 episodes, watching. We really appreciate you. Please like, comment, subscribe, download, share, all of the above. We really appreciate it because we love doing it and we want to help as many brides as we can. Yeah. So I know for now, I'm Philippa.
I'm Hayley. And this is Cooper.
And this is Cooper. This was Confetti Conversations, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.